This is Let's Talk About Magnum PI, the podcast from fans for fans of Magnum PI.
Hi, welcome to the new episode, and we smack stuff already. Hi. Wow, I was right. We have Rhea again, and of course our Liz, and me, Eve. Hi. And we're doing a rewatch episode again. Yay.
Here we go.
Here we go. I forgot what number we were on. It was 8, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched the right one.
And I think it's called Die, he said. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Die, he said. I still don't get the title. Honest to God, no idea what it actually relates to.
Yeah. Thinking back to the episode, it doesn't really relate to much.
There's nobody who goes just, he said die! Why don't you die? Kind of situation going on. So okay, you named it, so yay, but we don't get it.
Yeah.
At least us
Yeah.
don't get it. Maybe one of you out there does get it. Tell us if you do.
Because we'd love to
Honestly,
know.
Tell us.
Mm-hmm.
This episode has a lot of emotional stuff happening.
Yes.
Past's coming back to haunt several characters.
Yeah. Magnum and Higgins in a way too, I would say.
And Rick and TC.
And Rick and TC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
all our main characters
And
get to
can
be haunted by their past.
Yeah. They do. And can I just say it's my favorite opening to an episode, with the exception of Blood in the Water. Because I just love how we start like in the ocean and they just immediately start the bickering of like,
Underwater.
no, we should do it this way.
But
Yeah,
it's
it's like, do it this way.
underwater.
No, do it that way. And he's like, I'm a Navy SEAL. I know what I'm doing. And she's like, and? Like, it's my necklace we're trying to find, so we should listen to me. And I just love the sass, like, right off. So yeah, it's one of my favorite beginnings other than the water.
Yeah. I do love an episode in season 3 for the beginning as well, because we see another character swimming, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
We'll get there.
honest to God, the underwater bickering is something else. You don't
It
even
really-
have
like,
to
the
hear
fact that
them
they
to
can
know they're
do it.
bickering.
Yeah.
Exactly. The fact that they could portray it just by like her hand touching his ankle and like, you know,
The
pointing
touching?
at each other.
She was full on pulling it back.
Yeah, she was pulling,
Oh,
yeah.
it's true.
There was not much touching involved. There was full on physical, hey, dude, do what I want. It's my necklace.
You're
I'm in
messing it
charge,
up.
which Higgy always has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boys better listen to her. She knows what's up.
Definitely.
Also, can I just say, I want to snorkel there.
Oh, God.
too.
Tell me
It
about
looks so blue.
Tell me about it, yeah.
It looks so blue and so awesome and so warm and fish. Fishies. Love fishies. Also, as we heard, you can snorkel with turtles and apparently sharks, and you can come across whales and stuff. So I want to be there real bad.
Pretty much the whole package.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think we could
the whole
all-
package.
I think we could all feel like we'd want to be there right now. I don't know about you guys, but
Mhm.
I definitely
Oh, yeah.
wish I was there
definitely.
instead of here.
Tell me about it. It's not nice here right now.
It's hot and sunny here, but it's not beautiful ocean Hawaii.
It's Germany has currently the weird phenomenon of either we go from boiling hot, or either we have it boiling hot and sunny and basically your skin burns instantly, to it's raining, it's cold, and the rivers threaten to flood. And well, if you heard the news, it happened not too long ago, so yeah, fun times.
Yeah, we're kind of in a
Wonderful
similar We're kind of in a similar situation here as well. It's either you don't know what to take off or you don't know what to put on because
Yeah.
it's such a temperature contrast.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing at work, so all through the warm times, our air conditioning didn't work. And now that it got cold, it works. And it's like 18 degrees Celsius in there, so it's fucking cold for indoors.
But I would take 18 degrees Celsius over minus 30 Celsius,
Oh
which
my goodness.
I hate to say it is coming to Canada very, very soon.
Ah,
And I despise winter. And everyone, like, I have a couple friends right now who they're like, oh, it's, coming September, which means the fall. And then, oh, you know what that means, right? Winter's like, 3 months away. I'm like, shut up. Like, we're not thinking about that right now. Like, I'm not thinking about putting on my boots and my warm jacket and having like minus 30 and 30 centimeters of snow on the ground and having to dig my car out. Like, no, thank you.
I have to correct your friends. That's not what September means. September means it's only 1 month until Magnum PI is back.
Yes.
Yes. Nothing else. So right now
Oh
it's 2
man,
months.
aren't we so excited for it?
Absolutely.
It can't come
yeah.
soon enough. We can't go to Hawaii, so
we need Hawaii to come to us.
Yes, and we get a double this year. So I'm super excited about Magnum PI. I'm not as excited about NCIS, but whoa, they're on Hawaii. I'll watch it.
Yeah, if nothing else,
to be
because of Hawaii.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit worried about NCIS, to be honest, because I don't want it to like push Magnum out. If they can coexist, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Right, because obviously I want to let NCIS have its moment too, but I just don't want NCIS to completely overshadow Magnum, and I am really worried that that's going to happen. But
I mean,
we'll have to wait and see.
They can coexist because they have mixing audiences, but they don't have the exact same audiences. Like me, for example, I would not normally not be caught dead watching NCIS. It's not my cup of tea, despite it being the right genre. But it's not mine. And there's other people who are not Team NCIS, and there's other people who are Team NCIS and not Team Magnum. So different audiences. And some of you guys out there are probably Team both, because they can coexist.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. It's just a certain network just needs to promote them equally.
I think they did a pretty good job with coexisting and not pushing each other out of the way with Hawaii 5-0 and Magnum.
Yeah, but Hawaii 5-0 was like in its eighth season. That was a staple. That one you could not push away.
But they did make the join 2 episodes, and I think it worked very nicely.
These episodes were awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the crossover. It's so good.
Yeah, I watched it again recently, and awesome. Back to the show.
Really good.
Yes, back to the episode.
I see Rhea is perfectly dressed.
Yes, I'm currently channeling my inner Thomas Magnum.
And she's wearing...
Love it.
Yeah, she's wearing an Aloha shirt, and this is the first episode where Magnum full-on wears an Aloha shirt throughout the entire episode. Awesome, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't that even the one that Higgins got him?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
it's the same red one, isn't it?
Yeah. Good boy, letting Higgins...
And if it's not, it looks very similar.
Yeah. Good boy at letting Higgins pick that, because woman knows her fashion, evidently. A, she's dressed perfectly, and B, she dressed him perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
And C, without her... Yeah, and without her, he would not be able to tie.
A tie.
But does he ever learn, or does she always have to tie his ties for him? That's the question now.
Ooh.
Again, comes back to the question, does he really not know?
I think he knows, but
or is he just doing it?
Yeah, he's probably just being like, hey, Higgins, you need to do something with your hands to distract you. Tie. Anything.
Yeah. And if he really doesn't know how to tie a tie and she really did have to tie it for him, we actually don't know whether or not he's learned because we haven't had another one of those moments yet where he's had to wear a tie. So he could still possibly not know.
Unless we get an episode where she's not and he has to tie a tie by himself and does it without a fuss.
Ooh.
So there's ways to show it. Okay. Holy cow. I gotta say one thing. The topic of the episode, though, always strikes hot with me. Which is why I really can't. My attention span with this episode always reduces itself to a goldfish because I'm very much in my own head during it.
Yeah, it's a topic that, again, you wouldn't really expect that genre of TV show to tackle, and yet it does.
Mm.
You know, and there's so much, they weave in like so much the idea of loss, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we see it with the potential of William losing, like, well, actually, no, it's not William. It's Bobby losing his brother William. We have the
and William
we have
losing
the
his brother
flashback
Bobby,
of Magnum.
kind of.
Yep. So the two brothers. We have Magnum losing both the doctor and the man that they were trying to save in the flashbacks. And we have Higgins, who is thinking about the loss of Richard, which we don't know at the time that it's Richard, but we just know that the necklace means something to her, and we can assume it has something to do with her past and loss.
Speaking of Richard, I love that Magnum goes from Lovar directly to, did Robin give that to you?
Yeah.
And I always had this air of him, okay, I need to feel how far you went with Robin to know how far I can go with you.
In case she's Robin's girlfriend, just so okay, I can't really express my feelings towards my boss's girlfriend.
Not even going
I never thought
feelings. Not even going towards feeling, but I can't piss her off that hard if she's dating Robin. Later on it probably goes towards the feelings. After season 3 probably. But up until then it's like I should probably not piss off Robin's girlfriend. It's probably not a good idea if I'm mooching off of him.
And he does there's also this like line where he doesn't cross it. Like, remember a couple of episodes before where he doesn't push it with Higgins when she doesn't outright say that her mother had was it Alzheimer's?
Yeah, dementia.
Dementia. And then he just let her take her own pace.
Yeah.
He kind of crosses that line in saying, okay, I'm gonna find out eventually because I'm a PI, but he doesn't strictly like push it.
No, he doesn't cross that line, I think. For the same reason, he tells her that he's gonna find out, but there's this mirth about him. They're just teasing each other at that point, very visibly teasing each other, and he's like, I'm gonna find out. And to me it felt more like, I'm gonna find out because you one day are gonna tell me.
And it's funny because it's later confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's confirmed. I think it's like 5 episodes later, because Ian comes back and the whole thing, and then he actually does mention, he goes, the necklace I found, like late in episode 13, the necklace I found, that wasn't from Robin, that's like from Richard or whatever. And then she's like, yes. So it is confirmed later that he does find out, but only because Ian comes up.
It comes up because we know he's an awesome PI. If he wanted to find out,
he would have.
He would have, because I'd imagine the MI6 did not bury Richard's entire existence, so he would have found out if he dug a little deeper. But he didn't cross the line. He just had a little banter, had very friendly banter with Higgins. Like I to me, it felt like this was the first time we can actually see like they both know they're enjoying rubbing each other off like that. Rubbing each other off is probably the wrong term in that case. Help me!
I mean, teasing each other
Doesn't
works.
help. But it works
Doesn't
better.
Grading on
It's more
grate,
be nice.
grate each other.
That!
Use
Oh.
Higgins' words. Use Higgins' words. They grate on each other. There you go.
Oh. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you let someone bilingual do a podcast. And by the way, I have to mention, Liz is bilingual.
Yeah.
She speaks French and English. I'm bilingual. I speak German and English. And Rhea is trilingual.
Yes. I speak English, German, and Croatian. Croatian's my mother language.
Yeah, and she speaks all three languages fluently.
Fluently, yes.
Which is really cool.
Which is really cool. I can just say whatever the hell I want and she'll understand because she speaks both my languages.
I mean, we
Which-
do have conversations where, for example, Eve says something in German, I reply in English. I say something in German, she replies in English. It's just normal.
Well, we just flip
Now I feel
through
like I need to learn
languages.
German.
I'm not stopping you. And I also gotta say, Rhea is one of the only few people in this world who actually understands my weird vocabulary fails. The other day, it wasn't to you, it was to someone else. I was like, it's by the bonsai for outside. I meant tree. I meant a bloody tree. By the bonsai for outside. Or solid laundry. I told my mother I need to do the solid laundry today. Dishes. I meant dishes.
Solid laundry.
Yeah, and I
The
said that
bonsai one I would have gotten. The bonsai one I would have gotten. The solid tree one I don't.
Solid
tree.
Solid laundry.
to be fair, it didn't help that I said solid laundry in English. Because not even laundry wouldn't even come to me in German. I said it in English.
I'm
And
trying
my
to think
mom
of what it would even
understood
be
it.
in French. I'm trying to. Solid laundry. What would that even be? Because like dishes is les vaisselles, like on lave les vaisselles, which is like we're washing the dishes, and you could say like on fait la linge, which is like we're doing the laundry. Yeah, on fait la linge. That's what it is. We're doing the laundry. I had to think about it for a second. Obviously, French is not my mother tongue. I speak it, but it's not my mother tongue.
Oh boy, we're having fun. We're having
We
fun
are.
here.
We get so derailed and I love it.
Yes.
Okay, but this is tame to when we're tame compared to when we're talking off air.
It is.
Okay, coming back to our episode, I have to say something that I've told Rhea yesterday, and it's still I can't grasp it. It baffles me. So we have getting the doctor, taking him to the patient via helicopter, and we've done all we can to save both lives. Did you know? Because you just took a doctor from a working field hospital to a chopper where he got shot. Instead of taking it back to the working field hospital, you load him into the chopper, fly off, and risk him bleeding out. What the fuck? How is that doing all you can? Move back to the field hospital.
Save his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too. That was actually one of my thoughts. I was like, yeah, wait a second. Like you're fully like they literally said he's pinned down with other medics and stuff. Like, yeah. Could have brought him back.
Yep. Also, going back to staying in the flashback, actually, does Magnum's CO actually have the power to give orders to Rick and TC? I legitimately don't know. I've not been in the military. My cousins are all in the Navy or military.
Yes. I would guess yes, because it's probably like because Rick and TC joined Magnum's unit, right? So I
A
guess
joint
when
operation.
they joined exactly,
Yeah.
and when they joined the unit, they probably joined the like Navy SEAL part of the unit, right? And so like the Navy SEALs are in charge, which means the commanding officer of the Navy SEALs is their commanding officers now, and it would have gone differently had it been like regular army or whatever. It would have been whoever's in charge of the army would have been the commanding officer of the SEALs.
Cool.
I think. I don't know. Again.
I don't know either. There's probably someone out there who can tell us that. So, another shout out. Anyone who knows the answer for sure, tell us, because we don't.
Yeah, we generally don't know. What else did I want to bring up? You can see the guilt in Magnum's face the whole time that he's searching for like the money and Bobby and all of that. Like every time you can just see it.
A+ acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
As
gets
usual.
to me every time. Yeah. Also, I love the fact that Kumu calls Higgins Miss H. I don't know why. That made me laugh the first couple times I heard it. She's like, "It's all good, Miss H." And I'm like, "Yes, Kumu."
Kumu and her tax savviness are really a highlight of this episode, because she kind of isn't, but she also is. It's all good, Miss H. I watched a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Awesome. And she just almost wrecks a piece of hardware.
The
That's
drone.
quite expensive. Yeah.
The drone and the metal detector. And also when she picks up Thomas's phone and she's like, "Thomas, it's about a job." I love it.
You was just the best.
Take this.
Yeah.
It's about a job.
A+ impression of Kuma there. Honestly.
Oh, thank you.
What really,
I tried.
what really gets me about this episode is A, the story of the brothers, and B, that video. That William made video. That is just sweetest thing. He tells his brother
Pulls
that
on your heartstrings.
even if you don't want to save me, it's okay. I just want you to be my brother again. Oh, my heart.
Tears every time.
Tears
every single time.
Every time. I started crying way back in the beginning of the episode, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah. And it hits differently when you do the rewatch because you know it's coming the whole time. So you have it in your brain. And so it like affects everything else that you're watching, I think.
It also hits differently if I'm just gonna say it, if there's like a similar family thing in your background, you know it's coming, and you know that if push came to shove, this was the one thing you wouldn't get. So it fucks me up every time. That episode fucks me up hard.
It's one of those fuck you up episodes, I think. And they meant it. The writers went out and that was the mission and it succeeded.
Yeah. Also,
I think.
This episode is one of the only times we see Magnum come close to being a sleazy PI. I love how I see confusion on your faces. I love that.
What moment?
Magnum goes in, staples paper together, tucks it into the copier, breaks the fucking copier to look at the mail and then steal mail.
Even though he knows it's a federal offense.
It's a federal offense. It's highly, it's so wrong. It's normally not what he does. I mean, he breaks into houses, so there's that. But that's the sleaziest he got so far.
Yeah, we haven't really seen like other sleazy acts just yet. I think there's like moments,
Just,
like
yeah.
a few short
Yeah,
moments. Well, yeah, because
yeah.
I think there's a few short moments later on, like in the season and going forward, when especially when he teams up with Higgins, I find, because I feel like he thinks there's more at stake, so he just kind of goes harder at it. But
he usually does stuff when it's really time is of the essence, then he goes to extremes.
He's desperate.
Yeah, but that's just that there was a certain coldness to him about him in that scene. He was effective, not effectual. He was effective, he was swift, he was smart about it, and there's this coldness about him that makes it sleazy. I think if he went there with Higgy and there was this banter about them, wouldn't feel that
wouldn't be as cold.
Yeah. But it's just like,
because they would have talked about it and bantered and everything. And
and afterwards had a little bit of a different conversation about it. But like, oh, he can be that person if he wants to be. And there's this,
and when he needs to be.
Yeah, when he needs to be, and if he wants to be, because I feel like he actually has to want it.
Yeah. I mean, like Liz said, the time thing, because time is of the essence. William is dying and he needs the bone marrow from Bobby. So he's desperate and he just wants to do it as quickly and efficiently as possible, because there's one life at stake, and at that point potentially another one, because he has no idea where Bobby is at that point.
I mean, he doesn't know Bobby's life is at stake yet.
Yeah.
So for
but
him,
also going back to like the sleazy Magnum part, when Bobby's like, I'm leaving, I'm getting off the island, yada yada, and he's like, you can't do that, and he's like, he kind of like manipulates him into it, That's another like I found out of character Magnum moment. Like I don't think that's something like Magnum would normally. Like I don't think he would guilt people into it. Like even in the flashback.
Him.
Yeah, and even in the flashback when he wanted like Rick and TC and Nuzo to go with him after the commanding officer said no, he wasn't the one that was like, but we're going anyways. Like it was all of the guys together were like, but we're still going, like it wasn't Magnum coming out and being like, he said no, but I don't care, I'm still going, and this time he full on.
That would still be full on in character for Magnum. He said no, but I'm still going, not making his friends go with him. But the manipulative side of him there, still. And it goes back to him wanting to save William, because there's this, timestamp on his job, but also it's kind of disorienting when you first realize he could manipulate people real bad if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy could be very dangerous if he wanted to, but he just doesn't want to because it's not in his nature. But he will do it if it
absolutely
has
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he has to, he will. But he would prefer not to, I guess.
Yeah. I'm also the password. The password.
On
the laptop.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are we talking about? No, I remember. It's like, really, Devin?
Yeah.
No,
and not just that, it's written on the back of the mouse pad.
I
know.
It's so bad. It's a bad hiding spot, and B, a bad password.
I mean, it's
so
the
funny,
equivalent of putting
1, 2, 3,
your
4,
keys. 5. No, it's the equivalent of putting your house keys under a doormat that has all those, holes in it, and you can see literally where the key is.
Yeah.
Or so what true. My neighbor does. My neighbor has a wonderful, awesome garden with exactly 1 stone in it. That's not a stone, it's made of plastic where the house key is. Pretty garden, awesome garden. Middle of the garden is 1 stone. It's like it's like you're asking for it at this point.
It sticks out like a sore thumb.
What do you mean? It's not suspicious at all.
No. He could have just, if he was clever, he would have just tossed that stone over into our garden, because our garden is essentially made of stones. But nah, he has to have this one stone.
Yeah.
Or he could have stolen stones from us.
Oh, it's too funny.
Yeah.
That's too
People
funny.
are funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh.
I will never understand.
No. I love the end, the confrontation. I really love the confrontation.
Oh, the shootout?
Well,
Mhm.
before the shootout.
Before the shootout, when Thomas
Yeah.
reveals who actually has the money, because obviously he doesn't.
And I genuinely think he didn't know going in. He had
But-
an idea, but
Yeah.
he didn't know, and he put it together like in 5 seconds.
Because of the
Oh, for
facial
sure.
expressions and reactions of everybody gathered.
Like, whew. I feel like this episode,
And he even said it when he was telling Rick, he's like, when it goes south, and it will, he definitely didn't have that extra part of the plan in place yet. Like, you could
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this episode is something, when you watch it for the first time, you don't realize how much they show off how fucking competent that guy is. But when you rewatch it, it suddenly becomes really clear that this is just an episode where they show off how competent and how dangerous Thomas Magnum could be if he wanted to be.
And resourceful.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what I mean when I say dangerous. Dangerous in terms of he could get shit done. And he
yeah.
Don't fall.
For anyone listening and not watching, this was my chair just breaking.
And again.
I'm pretty sure it's now permanently down here.
By the
Eve
way,
is now
if
my
you-
height.
I'm tiny.
By the way, if you hear
Shut
any rumbling in the background, it started to storm here in Thunder.
Oh, now I want to hear the.
Ooh.
So now you want to
Thunder.
hear the thunder.
Ah!
It's
tall
really
again.
sunny here. I can't. Nope.
Did you do that on purpose, or did the chair
The
just?
last one I
flop?
did on purpose because I was
Okay.
too tall. I feel like at the end of this season, aka our season, if we ever end, we need a blooper reel of our own.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say I love how vulnerable, like, even though she wasn't in it a lot, how vulnerable Higgins was.
Yes.
Like, I think the first time that no, it's not the first time we see the vulnerability, but it's one of the first times that we truly see her be vulnerable. And you can see almost like that panic to her,
Yeah.
like when she can't find the necklace and she's visibly distressed.
Yeah.
And you guys know I love, distressed and all that.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
We know.
So you guys obviously know that I love that part. Yeah. There may be some evil ideas swirling in my head, like
Some?
always, but
Some?
yes, some quotation marks. There may already be a fan fiction written that I just don't have the guts to post. But
In editing by me, but at the moment.
yes. But I don't know if I'll have the guts to post it or not. We'll see.
We'll full on
Support this. Post it.
enable it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hi.
Mhm.
Another fun thing that I noticed in the episode was is the brother's name Bobby?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Bobby got kidnapped while wearing Thomas's hat, and I do not remember him wearing it during the shootout. When did Thomas get his hat back?
Was Thomas wearing the hat during the shootout?
No, Bobby was.
No,
wearing
Bobby
the
was,
hat
yeah.
when he got kidnapped.
Right.
It might
But
have been left
he
in
wasn't
the
wearing it.
car.
Yeah, because he wasn't wearing it in the car. Like when we saw that scene where they phone and they're like, Bobby can't come to the phone right now. Like, was he wearing the hat?
Yeah. No.
No. So it probably
It
got like
could-
knocked off of him.
Yeah,
when they
knocked
grabbed
off
him.
during the
There's a
struggle.
significant. I feel like we should have seen a little bit more concern about that cap. For obvious reasons, because it's important to Magnum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the few things he had when he came to Robin's nest. If you believe what Higgins says again later on in the season. When she's like, all I saw was a freeloading charlatan with a baseball cap and a cocky grin, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we know that it's basically super important to him because it's one of the last things that connects him with his dad. So
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been a little bit more panic about the whereabouts of his cap.
Yeah.
As for all the Miggy shippers out there, I love the ease with which he now asks her for favors. It's like, oh, by the way, Higgins, I need this. Thank you. Bye.
She's like, haven't I already repaid that favor or like prepaid that favor? And he's like, that was a work favor, or that was a, is it personal or work? He's
Work, I think
whatever, because
work.
they're making,
Yeah.
yeah, because he's just like distinguishing between like work and personal favors, and yeah.
Yeah. I just, you can just tell this is going to happen all the time now. And Higgins is just going to stop asking questions because it's just no use.
I do like the
And
fact that she's like a bit suspicious when Thomas calls in the favor early, and she's like, okay, yeah, he got his favor. There's no way he's gonna help me find the necklace. I'm gonna do it myself. with
But here's the
Kumo."
thing. He already found that necklace by that time.
He did, but
He
she
didn't
doesn't know it.
physically get it. He didn't physically grab it out of the washer yet, but he already knew where it was. Like the
Yeah.
moment he
He
asks
is
her
very
about her
confident.
day, he knows where it is, and you can see it in his face. It's like Jerry Hernandez is just a fucking genius in this episode. A, we can see the guild all through the episode, and B, you can see exactly when he puts it together where Higgins' necklace is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
And then
talented.
It's all in the micro expressions on his face, and he's incredibly talented when it comes to that.
Yeah. He
And I love the sarcasm that she has too when she's telling the day. He's like, and then what? And then she's like, and then it was lost. Like, end of story. You know? She's like, what more do you want?
Yeah. Well, he had a reason to ask these questions because it told him where the necklace was.
Exactly.
And it's one of the few.
As he says, any good pie.
Yeah, it's one of the two instances where just by telling something, he knows exactly what happened. Again, coming back to the shootout where he knows exactly which of the guys was the one doing it. By the way, I feel like if you know a little bit of these kind of episodes, you could have known before the characters. It's like this, it's the framing in the beginning where you see the goons at the first time. He was very, very prominent, and then in the end, he's the bad guy that did that killed that guy. It's just, you know, when you watch it back, you're like, yeah, you could have known that. If you were like super into it and super suspicious of these kind of replacements. It's like with some known actors, when they're cast, it's either they're the victim or they're the one who's done it. No in between.
Yeah. That's why casting is so
die
important.
A hero.
Yeah. I think, wasn't it the episode with, I think it was when it came to me the first time that this is the thing that happens in these episodes and these shows, it was on 5-0, and ironically it was the episode with Nick and Vanessa Lachey. When I saw them, I was like, they're the bad guys. They're not the victims, they're the bad guys. Because they're known, and I was just
I'm trying to remember what episode that was.
Yeah, me too.
They kidnapped a bunch of students from they pretended to be some alien pirates, kidnapped a bunch of students, and another relatively known actor was the dad of one of the students. And as soon as you saw it, you were just like, okay, you're gonna make trouble. And he did pay the bad guys for his son only, and his son got killed for it.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this one now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thunderstorm.
there's a shower going on outside. It's so nice to watch.
It's so atmospheric now. Atmospheric. Oh my goodness, my English is something else today. It probably left my competence on the gym floor.
300 workouts. Woo!
Yeah.
I just, before recording, finished my 300th workout on Hawaii with Egan's Bootcamp.
Which is a feat and a half.
Yeah, in
It
less
really
than
is.
a year. Because I
That's
have an
insane.
anniversary coming up next week.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's insane. I could never do it. I admire your strength and commitment because I could literally never do it.
It's I don't know what happened to me, but when I joined bootcamp, it was like, flip the switch, I'm now doing sports. And I'm never looking back because it does things to my mind that's somewhere else. And I think Rhea can attest to it.
Oh yeah. Very much so, in a very, very positive way. Probably the most positive way possible.
Yeah. So, another thing that really struck me, the CO at the end, when we see the conclusion of the doctor, and said that Magnum would not be court-martialed because the deaths are his punishment. And I'm like, oh, it hurts because the CEO knows that this is way worse than any court-martial could have been for Thomas. And you can see it in his face, and you can even see it into the
Later
future.
on.
It's like, whoa, yeah, that's the worst punishment you can give him, having to live with his deaths.
And not
And
just
he does.
Thomas.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Not just Thomas, it's Rick and TC. They immediately make the connection because basically you have the flashback and then a parallel, very similar setting happening in present day.
Yeah.
Where they're also fighting for a life in a chopper and bringing him to a hospital.
Yeah. It's very, they are very much still in touch with having lost that, and I think they all feel the guilt still.
They do. You can tell.
Yeah.
Poor boys.
Awesome episode.
It is.
It sneaks up on you, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. First time around, it's not that. And then you watch it again and you notice more, and then you watch it again, and suddenly the depth of the episode really sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it hits you harder.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think we're done with discussing the episode for today, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we have now the weekly spoiler section. If you don't want any spoilers, turn this thing off now. If you do want them, there's not much to say this week. Honestly, there's really not much to say. We have a new episode title.
Oh, yeah.
We have episode 3, Texas Wedge.
Yeah, Texas Wedge. Yeah. So now we have the first 3 episode titles. Island Vibes, The Harder They Fall, and Texas Wedge.
I'm still team Texas Wedge relates to golf.
A lot of people are making that connection, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does have something to do with it.
It's an obvious one. It's a golf club. The Texas Wedge is a golf club.
Yeah.
And apparently the harder they fall is about someone falling, so...
Yeah, probably. But the Texas Wedge actually didn't strike me because I do actually I have golfed. I do own a set of golf clubs, but in Canada, we don't call it the Texas wedge. We just call it the wedge. Like, or your sand wedge, even, we call it sometimes. So I never thought, like, when it was like Texas wedge, I didn't put it together as golf. And then everyone was like, oh, so it's about a golf club. And I was like, oh, okay.
The only
Like,
way I
just
put
the wedge.
the only reason I put that together was because either the day before or the morning before that came out, I watched golfing at the Olympics. That's the only way I knew this. And they were talking about clubs for some reason, and then Texas wedge came out. So I'm like, golf.
It was fate. You were meant to hear that line at the Olympics in
Yes,
order to
apparently I
understand the
was meant to
title
hear
of a Magnum episode.
If it relates to that.
If it relates to
Cannot
that, yeah.
be 100% sure because we
We
don't know jack shit about the episode.
Yeah, we really don't. Because I don't even think they've started filming it yet, to be honest. From what I know, I don't think they have
Another
yet.
thing that we do know about the episode, which might actually relate to Texas wedge not being about golf, but rather about poker. It just comes to me, so bear with me. It's an episode where Jin and a relative of his are featured, so there might be a reference to Texas Hold'em in there.
Or Texas being the place where the relative comes from. It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them. Because literally when we had Before the Fall in season 3, it was literally about what happened before the person fell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether or not she was pushed or whether or not she jumped. So
Isn't there some spoilerish insight to the fact that The Harder They Fall also features a fall?
Yeah, I may have seen something where somebody was on the ground.
So there might be a fall in The Harder They Fall. Could be as simple as that. And island vibes. I mean,
yeah. I mean, island vibes could literally just be a reference to Higgy missing the island.
That's
or
what
like
I
the
was
contrast
thinking.
between Kenya, the contrast between Kenya and Hawaii.
Yes.
I mean that was my immediate thought, was it has something to do with like the fact that Higgins is not having the island vibes, quote unquote.
And it could relate to the different vibes that the entire Ohana has now that Higgins is gone.
It's true.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, that's what we think these things could
possibly mean.
If you've different ideas, again, tell us. We're always here to talk to you guys and interested, and we'd love to hear from you.
Always.
So there's fun stuff coming up on the show and fun stuff coming up on this show. So keep listening or watching, depending on where you are. As for today, I think we're wrapping this up. So we're on Instagram and Twitter under Magnum PI Podcast. And you can leave us a comment, send us a message, and, join us for an episode because it's fun. I think Rhea can attest to it because she's back.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm less shy this time. So.
Yes, you talk more.
Yay!
You're getting out of your shell. So this is also something that's awesome about the podcast. We're just fans doing this for fans. So there's no judgment from any of us. Come here.
And we were all totally shy when we started.
Yes.
So if you're shy, it's a great way to come and get unshy.
Yes. Because it's just a talk between friends that happens to end up on the internet. And we'll do our best to make you feel comfortable.
And it's working. Sure. I can attest to that as well.
No.
Thank you. So see you guys around. Bye.